If you're hearing this, you're alive. That's something. This isn't a drill or some sick joke. I'm broadcasting from a rusted transmission tower near Gallup, New Mexico. They call this signal Desert Dead Air. My name doesn't matter. Yours does. Survive. What started at Los Alamos National Lab wasn't an accident. It was a key turning in a lock we were never meant to open. 3 days ago, a particle accelerator ripped a hole in reality. It bled out a virus that rewrites flesh and mind. You've seen it. You know. The sky's bleeding orange tonight, not sunset, but fallout from the lab's meltdown. Sand whips through abandoned cars on Interstate 40 like shrapnel. Shadows move out there. Not shadows. Them. Faster than they should be. Twisted things that used to be ranchers, cashiers, kids. Now just teeth and hunger. Their skin glistens like oil under the moon. Radiation? The virus? Doesn't matter. What matters is they run. They don't shamble. They hunt. First night, Albuquerque burned. Heard it over the police scanner before it went silent. A group of bikers tried holding Route 66 near Tucumcari. Big mistake. These things, they swarm. Tore through Harley-Davidsons like tin foil. One biker, Maria, last transmission said she'd made it to a water tower. Heard her screaming when they scaled the ladder. Heard bones crack, then static. That's how it starts. One crack, then silence. Los Alamos is ground zero. Lab techs sealed the lower levels when the accelerator overloaded. Smart. But the virus seeped out through vents, rode dust storms into Santa Fe. Now, those scientists are trapped. Rumor says they're alive, holed up in reactor room B. Last message was Morse code. Anomaly active. Do not. Then it cut off. Whatever they unleashed is growing, changing. Satellite images show the labs buried under a pulse. Like heat haze, but wrong. It's spreading. Miles a day. Got a message scratched into a truck stop wall near Roswell. They see with skin. Poetic. Bullshit. I'll tell you how they see. A family of 4 tried hiding in a bank vault in Socorro. Thought it was safe. The things outside, they didn't pound the door. They piled. Dozens, hundreds. Stacked bodies like sandbags until the weight blew the hinges. Found the youngest kid's backpack. No blood. Just teeth marks on a stuffed rabbit. They don't just kill. They feed. Military rolled in yesterday. National Guard convoys from El Paso. Thought we were saved. They didn't last 6 hours. These freaks, they learn. Ambushed the Humvees near White Sands. Used the dunes for cover. Ripped soldiers out of turrets. One Private Ramirez. His body cam footage leaked. Shows a thing that used to be a school teacher chewing through his Kevlar. Yes, chewing. These jaws, they unhinge. Like snakes. Ramirez died sobbing for his mom. The video ends with the thing's face filling the lens. Milky eyes. Black gums. Survivors? Few. Heard about a miner near Silver City. Old man. Used dynamite to collapse a mine shaft on 30 of them. Bought his grandkids 12 hours to run. They made it 5 miles. Found the girl's shoe near a creek. The boys' glasses. No bodies. That's the worst part. They take what they kill. Drag them back toward the lab. Why? Nobody knows. Global news is ashes. London's silent. Beijing's a firestorm. Whatever leaked here. It's everywhere now. But New Mexico? We're the heart. The lab's anomaly is mutating. Weather's gone insane. Sandstorms taste like copper. And the infected, they're evolving. Got a frantic radio burst an hour ago from a trucker near Los Lunas. They're climbing. Walls, trees, Christ. They're on the... Then crunching. Wet tearing sounds. Transmission died. Which brings us to now. That pulse from Los Alamos, it's surging. Lights are flickering across the state. If you've got power, you're a target. Smash your bulbs, go dark, and listen close. I've got coordinates: 35.8802 degrees north, 106.3006 degrees west. That's the lab. The scientists are still broadcasting weak signals, begging. One voice, male, keeps repeating. Containment failure imminent, it wants out. What's it? Don't know, but I'll tell you this. Those things outside, they're not just running toward us anymore. They're running from something. Gotta move. They're close. I hear scratching on the tower's ladder. Sounds like knives on bone. If this is the end, if the dead air goes silent, remember, do not head north. Do not seek the lab. Whatever's in that hole, it's waking up, and it's hungry for more than flesh. I'm signing off. For now, stay alive. I'll broadcast again in... Static's gone. Power's back. For now. They didn't get me. Not yet. Climbed down the tower while those things were still clawing at each other in the dark. Stupid. Hungry. But they're learning. Faster every hour. This is desert dead air. Still breathing. Barely. Gallup's overrun. I'm moving west, toward the Arizona line. Sky's worse. That orange haze has thickened into a bruise-colored fog. Smells like burnt hair and ozone. And the silence. God, the silence when the wind dies is worse than the screams. Los Alamos blue. Not an explosion. An unfolding. 3 hours ago. Satellites caught it before they went dark. That heat haze pulse, it erupted like a bubble of wrong reality expanding. Swallowed the lab whole. Then it kept going. Engulfed the town of White Rock in seconds. No fire, no sound. Just gone. Replaced by a shimmering vertical scar in the air, taller than mountains, wider than the Rio Grande. And things are crawling out of it. Not the infected. Something else. Something the scientists must have seen. Got a burst transmission from inside the lab before it vanished. One word, screamed over and over. Entity. Then a sound, like metal being chewed from the inside. The male voice, the one begging before, came back, choked, wet. It's not a virus. It's a hive, a conscious hive. It bends space, rewrites biology, uses the infected like hands, building something out there in the scar. Gunfire, a wet gurgle, then a new voice, cold, resonating like stones grinding. Assimilation is completion, static. Then the lab blinked out of existence. The infected heard it too, felt it. That scream from the scar? It's a command. They stopped hunting randomly, started moving together, like a dark river flowing back toward ground zero, dragging survivors with them. Saw it near Grants. A school bus, armored up, tried making a run for it down Interstate 40, made it 10 miles. Then the river of infected surged over it, not attacking, just covering it, smothering it, dragging the whole shrieking mass back toward Los Alamos, toward the scar. What are they building? Humanity's last punch landed hard, foolish, brave, deadly. Air Force sent stealth bombers, not nukes, too risky near that scar. Thermobaric fuel air bombs. Thought they'd incinerate the horde converging near the Valles caldera. They dropped their payload. Fire bloomed like hell's own sunrise. Cheered over the shortwave for 10 seconds. Then the flames stretched, twisted, got sucked into the scar, and the infected walked out of the inferno. Not burning, shimmering. Heat haze clinging to their oil-slick skin, unharmed, angrier. They brought the fire with them, burned half of Jemez Pueblo to ash, chasing survivors into the mountains. Survival stories are turning dark. Grim choices. A woman near Farmington. Her husband got bitten during a supply run. Hid it. 3 days later, he changed. Tore through their safe house wall. Killed their 2 kids before she put him down with a shotgun. Found her sitting in the ruins. Kids in her lap. Radioing coordinates of infected nests before putting the barrel in her mouth. Last words. Don't trust anyone. Not even the quiet ones. The bite. It whispers before it takes you. The entity's touch is spreading, not just through bites. That pulse, it's warping the land. Animals are changing. Saw a coyote near Zuni, size of a bear. 3 sets of jaws, eyes like molten glass. Tore apart a group hiding in a canyon. They shot it 6 times. It just absorbed the bullets. Skin rippled. Spat them out. Then kept feeding. Plants aren't safe either. Creosote bushes near the radiation zones. They move. Grab. Thorns inject something that turns flesh to black sludge. The desert itself is becoming a weapon. The scar is growing. Faster now. Miles an hour. Sucking in light, sound, hope. And the infected? They're building something at its base. Using rubble, cars, bodies, twisted into impossible shapes, spires, arches, looks organic and mechanical all at once, pulsing with that same wrong light. Got a close-range signal from a drone operator who flew too near. It's singing, a vibration. Feels like my teeth are cracking. The spires. They're emitting a field. Makes the air taste like metal. The infected walk into it and dissolve. Become part of the structure. Feeding it. Growing it. Drone feed dissolved into fractal static. We lost the last military holdout, Fort Wingate. They held the line for a day. Heavy artillery, tanks made a stand. Killed thousands of infected. Bought time for refugees fleeing into Navajo Nation. Thought they'd won a moment. Then, the ground rippled. Opened up. Hundreds of infected. The ones that burrowed we never knew they could burrow. Surged up from below. Tore through the command tents. Took out the generators. The guns fell silent one by one. Last transmission was a colonel screaming orders, then screaming in agony. Wet, tearing. A final gunshot. Silence. The horde marches on, dragging tanks behind them like trophies toward the scar. I'm compromised. Got too close. Near Window Rock, sandstorm hit, couldn't see. Felt a scrape on my arm. Thought it was rock, wasn't. One of them, small, fast, like a twisted lizard child. Teeth like needles. Didn't break skin, but it left a mark, glowing faintly green. It burns, cold, and I hear it, faint, in the back of my skull. Not words, intent, hunger, direction, pulling me north, toward the scar. I'm fighting it, writing this fast. This is the end, for me, for New Mexico, maybe for everything. The scar is visible now on the horizon, even through the haze. A jagged tear in the sky, bleeding dark light. The entity isn't hiding anymore. It broadcasts feeling. A crushing weight of alien thought. Ancient, hungry, not for flesh, for reality itself. It wants to unmake, to rebuild. The infected are its clay. The scar is its door, and it's opening wider. If you hear this, anywhere, run south, run hard. Forget supplies. Forget pride. The mountains won't save you. The desert won't hide you. The entity sees through the skin of the world. It's coming. They found me. Dozens. Drawn by the mark. By the whispers. Outside this ruined gas station. Climbing the walls. Smashing the boards. I see their eyes through the cracks. Milky. Knowing. They're not rushing. They're savoring. They know I belong to the hive now. that I'll walk myself into the scar soon. So here's my last gift. The coordinates again. 35.8802 degrees north, 106.3006 degrees west. But not to go there. To avoid it. To map the dead zones. To know where the scar will spread. The entity's heart is there. If anyone, anywhere, has a weapon that can hurt something that eats reality, aim there, nuke it, pray, do it now. I'm loading my last shell into the shotgun. Not for them, for me. Before the whisper wins, before I walk, before I become part of that thing growing under the scar, this is Desert Dead Air, signing off. Survive, fight, remember us in the